Hop Killers, it's Dylan. I'm here at New Glory Brewing in Sacramento, California with Jack, the Director of Brewery Operations.
Yes.
And we're going to do a full behind-the-scenes tour of their pretty new facility. Jack's going to lead the tour. Before we get into it, what size system did you guys end up going with?
We have a 40-barrel system.
Okay.
So it can make a lot of beer.
It's a lot of beer. Okay, cool. Let's go. Let's go check it out.
All right. Start in the grain room. It's where everything begins.
Cool.
It's a little loud in there right now, so we may stay outside.
Yeah.
We're milling in gummy worms right now.
Okay.
So that's our #1 seller, hazy pale ale.
Right.
But we take raw grain out from that silo out there, or malted grain.
Yeah.
It goes through a chain link, up all these arms, goes down into a mill, and it gets crushed to a very specific size. That way we can get inside the kernel where all this sugar is.
Yeah, I see you guys have your little sifters, so I'm sure you're dialed in on your spec. But yeah. And then it runs it right into the hopper and then into the mash tun. This facility is rad. I mean, the fact that you guys like went from that old like brew pub to hopper.
Yeah. Oh,
like
did you see it?
Yeah. Yeah. And then now you have like no expense spared.
Yeah, it was great. I don't know if you saw, but the glycol lines are all insulated, the white ones.
Yep.
It's done by the same people who did Sierra Nevada and Stone.
Wow.
They're just like some of the top line people, so no expense spared. Even down to the flooring material. It's like the weird things you kind of care about as a brewer.
Right,
like,
yeah. Sloping to the drain.
Yeah.
The epoxy's not going to rip up, but yeah. Where does it go after it's milled? It goes to this
Good question.
Offset hopper.
Yeah, so we mill in one batch at a time, and so this thing can hold 4,200 pounds of grain in it.
Wow.
So plenty for an entire batch, but we'll mill that in usually the night before the batch, or right now we're getting ready for Monday, and that's about as far as we stretch it.
Nice.
And yeah,
you got banker hours.
Yeah,
for the brewery.
Yeah, I know.
Super cool.
It's great.
That's a good like work-life balance for all the employees.
Yeah, it's important to us.
That's cool. And then you have the 40 barrel.
Yeah, would you like to go up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Are you guys? I'm assuming not single batching, but maybe
no,
double?
triple sometimes.
In one shift?
2 shifts technically.
Okay.
4 vessel. We've got a mash mixer right here. It's got basically a big old boat propeller inside of the grain. It goes in here, gets mixed with water at a very specific temperature. That way we control like how much sugar remains in the beer once it's done fermenting. Gets stirred like hell in this thing. And then we transfer it in here. We basically make a big batch of oatmeal. And then we transfer it in here, and that has a false bottom on it.
Yeah.
And so the grain and water mixture sits on top of that. We'll do something called a Vorlauf.
Yep.
It's a good old German term. Yeah, clear it up.
Yeah.
Because we want just that sugar water basically from it.
Right.
So we take that oatmeal, throw it on the grates, stir it around a little bit until it's clear, until we basically get a barley tea. Yep. And then we send it over there, and that is our kettle. So we'll collect 1,500 gallons or so. A lot of beer.
40 barrels is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a small number.
And we'll throw it in there.
What do they call
Calandria.
Calandria.
Yeah, so that thing really rips. So that just basically helps it boil really fast.
Yeah.
Like it'll get up to temp really quick.
That's rad. And then the Whirlpool, I'm assuming?
Whirlpool. Right now it's filled with water, actually. Of us, these extra tanks has one for cold water and then one for hot water over there. So it was important to us when we did the expansion that not everything would be automated. We didn't want the brewers just saying like brew gummy worms and just watching a screen all day, because that would just be, that'd be a nightmare job. We still wanted everything to be interactive and controllable.
Right.
So how this works is it's got different screens for each item on the brew deck or each vessel. And then all these valves can just be manually opened or closed from up here. They're all pneumatic air.
Wow.
So it's on the brewer to open and close. So if they don't know what they're doing, they could mess up a lot of stuff. But we try and make sure that they don't. Basically a big blender.
Right, yeah.
So these first 3 tanks right here are 120 barrels.
Yep.
3 batches go into that, and it's all gummy worms all the time. That's our #1 seller. We need 120 barrels to keep up with it.
Wow.
Just got into Costco, actually, so that was a huge boost.
That's huge. Dude.
Yeah.
Just in California or like?
In the Sacramento area currently.
Okay.
And then I think maybe the bay as well.
Wow.
I'm not sure.
That's big.
Who's shouting? Oh, hello. Yeah. Yeah.
So we got the brewer asking him for some help here, changing valves right from the screen. And you can hear that shift. Running water in there?
So now, yeah, we have a tank over there that takes we get city water, we run it through a filter, and then it gets UV light treated to kill anything.
Yeah, nice.
And so that can be plumbed anywhere throughout the brewery. It's just our processed water. So at any click of a button, I can send in 100 PSI worth of water just where I want.
That is so awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a night and day coming from your little brew pub style.
Oh, yeah. I do miss, because that one, you really felt the beer because you were doing everything manually.
Right.
So it was really rewarding, but on a 115-degree day, you don't want to be stirring a mash and doing a bunch of work.
Right. What output do you guys, like, are you projected to do this year in terms of beer sold or produced, whatever you know more of?
That's tough. So it is going up and up, maybe like 15,000 barrels.
Wow,
yeah.
Really?
So we're not even at 100% capacity right now, but.
So you have the 3 120s, what else do you
We have 3 120s over here and 2 over there. Those are for Ubadank, pretty much. So like second highest seller or just West Coast.
Killer.
Yeah.
This is actually like one of the West Coast that got me into craft beer, like right when I started drinking. And I remember you guys had the older labels, and I was like, dude, whenever it was like fresh, I mean, it lasted great for a while, but like when it was really fresh, I was like, this is killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still
and Uba is definitely the child of the owner of the company. It's one of the longest running beers here. It'll never go away. It's one of his favorites. That's cool. We do change it slightly over time. Yeah. But I love it too. It's a good, just classic West Coast. It's a blend between like new school and old school. Right. It appeases like any West Coast drinkers.
Right. It's not like the all Pilsner based, Krispies that are here now.
Yeah. We do those too, because that's kind of what the brewers kind of like. But yeah.
How much brewing do you do now? Probably not
as much. You basically cover these guys when they need it now.
How many brewers do you guys have?
We have 2.
Okay. Wow.
We're a skeleton crew here, so we've got 2 brewers. They take turns each week, flipping between who brews and who helps out in the cellar. Wow. And then we've got 1 dedicated cellar guy who just is an extraordinaire, kind of does everything. Yeah. And 1 canning line operator, like packaging operator guy, and then 1 cellarman helper for him.
That's it?
So, yeah, that's it. That's production.
Whoa, dude. Yeah. You guys are killing it.
Yeah, we do a lot with the small crew.
That's wild.
But this facility makes it easy to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the equipment, the layout.
All the brewers drink lager and Pilsner, basically.
Crispy boys all day, dude.
Yeah. And so we were just dying, waiting for it to come out. It was nice. Yeah. That too. We got a special piece of machinery for the canning line. You can check that out.
What a style to have to sit in a tank, though.
I know, it's perfect for it, yeah. It wasn't the worst thing. It's the longest we've ever lagered a beer. We do lager them traditionally, but watch out for the hot mess. We're cleaning the tank right now. Yeah. So this is our canning line. It's a Wild Goose 5-head. Wow. And then we have a depalletizer, and the newest piece of machinery is that twisty thing called an S-grip. And so that allows us to run different can sizes without having to change anything over. Right. It sprays it out with ionized air, or basically electrified air, to like get anything out of the cans. Right. And then we purge them all with CO2, come down this way, get filled with beer, get capped, get seamed, flow down this way. Yeah. And then this is actually one of the nicest.
The little hangout spot.
Yeah, it's the accumulation table. Right. So when they want to change a label or fix anything that's broken down there, they don't have to stop the line. They can just keep it running. It'll build up here, and then we can just keep going. Because anytime you stop the line, you lose some beer, things warm up, things break out.
All that stuff.
So it just allows us to just crank out a lot.
That's wild. Yeah. How many days a week, roughly, do you guys run the line?
5.
5 days a week?
Yeah, 4 or 5. Whoa. It's summer now, because things are going faster, but wow. It's like gummy worms is pretty much always done Monday. Yeah. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Homie's out here cranking them. Yeah. What's a can count, dude?
Oh, yeah, I don't even know. Total ever?
Yeah, like 5, 6 million.
Yeah.
That's wild.
God, it's got to be something high. We installed an extra fill head on it a few years back just to keep up with production. And
right.
Yeah. Eventually, we will upgrade to a bigger line because it is one of the bottlenecks at this point is we are maxing this thing out.
That is so wild.
Yeah.
It's so funny. You're like breweries out here doing the, can van, which is rad.
Yeah.
But those are breweries that utilize it once a week.
Yeah.
Once every 2 weeks. And you guys are out here cranking it every day.
There was a time where just production was chaos, I think, like right before the pandemic, where we had to run this line and the can van here at the same time.
That would have been a
It
sight.
was nuts.
That's wild.
Yeah. Those are 40s, and then next to it's a 15 barrel.
Oh,
That's
cool.
kind of for more of the specialty stuff. It's more fun. Like, it's hard to sound 40 barrels of a brown, so it's easier to do like 15 barrels of that.
Right.
And then we've got 2, 3 barrels here for like extra fun little tap room things.
That's cool.
Just to bring people in and have something fun, only found here kind of thing.
Yeah, your scale, like it's really cool to have that form of flexibility.
Yeah.
You guys can play. You can run like 2 different yeasts, dry hop different, whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
Super rad.
Yeah, so we've been utilizing these more, and they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
This thing right here is an infusion tank, actually. We're going to be using this next week. We've got a tropical tiki sour coming out.
Oh, cool.
And it's going to get just a ton of coconut in here, some nutmeg, a very little bit of cinnamon, just to be kind of painkiller inspired.
There you go.
So yeah, it should be good.
Not as strong.
8%.
Okay.
So it'll be
Yeah.
it'll be like dangerously drinkable is what we're shooting for.
Those are rad.
Yeah.
And that's like where you're just recircing.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So we get great just flavor extraction out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that? That's the $1 million bottle unreleased of gummy worms right there. See that?
Oh yeah.
Never before seen.
Yeah.
Until this video. $1 million. The owner said it's for sale.
Yeah. We were doing some trials. We bottled, I think for last year's anniversary, some big stouts.
Oh, cool.
So when we were testing out that little machine, we always have a lot of gummy worms, so that was what we were getting it dialed in with.
Yeah. What are the hops in gummy worms?
Citra and Amarillo, or
Okay.
Amarillo.
Yeah, however you say it.
Yeah.
How do you guys, I'm assuming you select
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the scale.
Would you like to actually smell some?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Hey, let's get it to the air conditioned or like the cooler area.
Let's go. Yeah, I know, like when I started brewing, I loved Amarillo or Amarillo, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it started like getting like that like onion garlic. I mean, I don't have any selection, obviously.
Yeah.
But what I got, and then I stopped using it, but I've heard it's kind of come back.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
that like candied orange is kind of what we shoot for. Like,
right.
So we can go in.
More hops than
guess-
I'd ever use in my life.
Yeah, some Gatorade because it's hot as hell,
Gotta
but
keep them cool, dude.
Citra is one of the mainstays in craft beers
Nice.
nowadays.
Like looking for like the
it's-
tropical-ish look, or
It's tough. It's almost like you only know when you get it. Like, oh, that's exactly what we want. We want
right.
kind of the simple, just citrusy.
Citra.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Citra.
Yeah.
And so that's what we really target all the time.
Right.
Something just really, citrusy. Smack you in your face citrus.
Oh, you got some Phantasm over there? Look at you.
Yeah.
Wow.
We try and stay on top of current trends, Phantasm. 2 of the beers in tanks right now have bioengineered yeast.
Is it
which
the
is-
like thiol? Which one?
We have done the thiol yeast before, but Berkeley Labs is a pretty local yeast provider, and they came out with a new strain that's just supposed to give a bunch of
Which one is it? Because they used to like have like some that are like 10, 20 times. So like what is?
Oh, yeah. We've used that thiol one, and that was insane. When it was fermenting, it just seemed like we added fruit to the tank. It was mind-blowing. And then the ones we have now, I'm blanking on the name. I know there's Super Bloom is like a Cascade one, and then like Sunburst Chico.
Yeah.
So it's a West Coast strain that makes pineapple flavors.
Okay. Have you guys had the first time with it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So it's exciting. Those are ones getting crashed now, so it's cooling down.
Yep.
It's not really ready to try. And then another one is actually in a tank, and it's a collab with Drake's.
Oh, dope.
So,
for the Session Fest or
Yeah, the
whatever they have
Session
going
Fest.
on?
Yeah.
Cool.
We're all
It's
about
at Ghost Town.
Yeah, collabs and just getting as much.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's beer's fun, and so it's good when like everyone cooperates and like does something fun together. It's one thing that we really like and enjoy.
Yeah.
Try and keep up doing collabs and do fun things with other breweries, because that's also how you can just learn and grow and see what they're doing.
What do you think makes New Glory when it comes to their beer? I know that's a pretty vague
good question. No, I like it, yeah.
Like you guys have been around for a long time, 10
Yeah.
years. You're definitely not the new
10 years.
kid
We
on the
just
block
had our,
when it comes to Sacramento breweries. Heavy competition.
Yeah, it's a saturated market.
Saturated market, but you guys are still out here killing it.
Yeah.
Enough to expand even.
Yeah.
What do you guys think that separates your beers from others?
It's good. Every brewery in Sacramento has kind of found like a niche, and some are like really great at pastry sours and other types of those beers. Some are really great at like stouts and like really doing that.
Right.
We tried to do it all, or
do the best
and never
at everything.
stop growing, I guess, is don't become complacent with just doing the same thing over and over again.
Right.
I've always been about trying to get ahead of trends and like what's the next big thing in beer.
Right.
So we like to innovate and try new things and then just go for it. Like do something weird, see how it comes out. Try experimental bioengineered yeast or another beer we released today is almost like a mixture between a seltzer and a beer. It's a lemonade shandy beer. That right there is a centrifuge. So this is actually one piece of machinery that is hugely helpful here. It helps us churn out beer faster and faster. It basically, if you've ever been on a carnival ride, that I forget the name of it, but the one that sucks
the
you
Gravitron,
to the Gravitron. Yeah, this is it. But it sends beer through like 9 Gs of force.
Wow.
And so any solid material in there that fall out naturally with gravity just gets sucked to the side of the bowl, and then clear beer kind of goes through.
Yeah. Good on yields. Good on
our
quality,
yields are higher.
life.
It's not as aggressive as plate filter.
Yeah.
It's another way of doing it.
Frame.
So
So crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Fuge is cool. I mean, super rad piece of equipment to have.
Yeah.
You know, yields, all kinds of stuff. Speed, like tank time.
Yeah. It's great. Our Pilsners have never been clear since this thing. Yeah.
No filtering, just the Fuge.
Just the centrifuge. Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
You guys do any fining?
No. Well, every once in a while we do a biofine.
Yeah.
But with this, we try and avoid it. Just centrifuge it. We send even our hazies through it. We change some of the settings.
Wow.
But that way we don't get like the slugs in the bottom of the can, the real thick stuff that dribbles out at the last pour.
Right.
We try and avoid that.
That's rad.
Yeah.
We'll have to check out their silos. So
I can point you outside.
So not only do they have a grain silo, which is like you can buy your grain in bulk, get a really big bulk price. They have, what do you guys call it? Like the wet?
The spent grain.
A spent grain silo, which if any brewer knows, you know, you're out here graining out.
Yeah.
Hot as hell. And they have everything, is it automated like completely?
It's controlled by the brew deck. And so there's a big stainless pipe that you can see goes up about 3 stories, I guess.
Yeah.
And it pushes it all the way from the brew house up and inside of that.
That is so wild.
And then the idea is the farmer pulls their truck underneath it. There's an auger in that little arm, and we can just drop it right into the farmer's truck.
Yeah. Actually, we saw, well, I don't know if you saw him, but as we got here, homie was out there with the forklift. They got a bunch of forklift certified guys out here.
Yeah.
Watch out, dude. But he was out there dumping into a farmer's trailer.
Yeah. So we make a lot of beer, so we have a lot of grain. So we give it to a lot of local farmers.
Super rad.
And the ranchers we deal with, we're really close with. They invited us down recently. We had a barbecue there. It was
that's
great.
Cool. That's a good relationship.
Yeah,
dude.
they bring us beef sometimes, fed on our grain, and it's just always amazing and fresh and really well priced. So it's one cool perk that we get.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. What are you excited about in the next quarter that New Glory is doing outside of your brand new, box and packaged lager?
Yeah, I mean that's like the biggest excitement right now. We're all proud of this one. Things upcoming. We've got our Oktoberfest coming up end of August, and then new and exciting things that we can't give stuff away in case it doesn't end up working out. But
I get you.
We'll be doing some fun little trials here soon in those 3 barrels to get something special out, something new.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
So when you guys dry hop, are you guys old school throwing it to the top of the tank, or do you have something else?
A little bit of both. So on the 40s, we just do old school, straight to the top. We've got these big manways that make it easy. But then, let me see where it is. For the 120s, we can't really go to the top of those. So if I can find it,
It's missing. It's a big old piece. It's gone, dude. It's out of here. We're on the hunt.
Hey, Manny, where's the hop
I'm talking to
cannon?
the cellar guy right now.
Oh, okay, there it is. Tucked between some tanks.
The cannon, dude.
The cannon.
There
So
we
on
go.
this, it uses a very special German regulator that doesn't restrict flow, it just restricts pressure.
Oh, cool.
So we have hard plumbed CO2 throughout the brewery at 120 PSI at all times. So it needs to be regulated. But on this, it'll just shoot CO2 in, and we fill that hopper with just a ton of hops, like 400 pounds of hops for some of these guys.
Yeah.
And then we open up that silo, and it just shoots it up with CO2 right up the arm into the tank.
Yeah, safe on the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, safe-ish. It's still pressurized,
Safe-ish, yeah.
but way better than
getting on a ladder or a scissor lift. Yeah.
Right. You guys' tall tanks, do you guys rouse? Do you guys recirculate? Or do you just let it settle and...
we kind of do a mix of all of them, depending on the beer. Sometimes we rouse it, sometimes... We don't recirculate too much on hops, just only for like confusing things.
Gotcha.
But we have done that in the past on certain beers, because it's always like, how do we get more out of them?
Right.
And more aroma. We always want our beers just to blow people away in terms of like, we're always looking for ways like, all right, well, how do we improve? How do we improve? What's the next step? Yeah, would you like to try a beer off of the tank?
Hell yeah.
So Key Lime Goza is going to be one of the next releases. It's not carbonated now, but it was just centrifuged. That's why it's being cleaned right now.
Yeah.
So we could go try it.
Yeah, let's do it, dude.
So you know all the lingo. DOs or dissolved oxygen.
PDO, yeah.
Oxygen is only good for beer as soon as you knock it out to get the yeast to grow. And then after that, you don't ever want to introduce it. So on this, we can measure DOs. We can check carb levels. We can do all sorts of just math to figure out how the beer is. And then we've got some glasses for you guys as well.
Hell yeah. Ooh, you're in on this.
Yeah.
Look at those.
It was... Oh, I may need to grab the pigtail.
What are your favorite seasonals?
This is one of them.
Is it?
Because it's just a great summer beer.
Thank you.
Yeah, that should settle out. We're carbing it up right now.
Yeah.
So it is a little crazy. We do have a little thing. It's called a pigtail. It allows for nice, easy pouring, better than this. One in the fall, that's one of my favorites, is Wakey Wakey. It's just a oatmeal coffee porter.
Oh, cool.
But that is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Really coffee forward. It tastes like cold brew, just a little bit of vanilla in it.
Yeah.
It's super easy drinking. Speaking of favorite seasonals, this one's just, it's an easy drinking summer beer.
This is killer.
It's almost like a margarita in a can, but way lower alcohol.
Yeah.
Just
easy to drink on.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect amount of like saltiness to like tartness. And it's really balanced.
It keeps you going back for more because of that salt. And
I get like that, what's like the lime Modelo's? It's like somewhat, not like, not close, but you know, it's like up that alley, you know? It's killer.
Yeah. It uses a lot of fresh key lime juice.
Wow.
And
Is it like a
Himalayan pink sea salt,
Oh, nice. Is it a classic like 50-50 wheat and Pilsner base?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a pretty old recipe for New Glory. We've done it for a while. We used to hand cut and squeeze the lime ourselves, and then once we get to this size, it's just not as possible. But
what do you guys like fermentation wise? Are you guys what do you do for the gozas here?
So that's another thing we kind of experiment with. This is a kettle sour.
Okay.
This one.
Yeah. Pretty traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We use just a single strain of bacteria in it.
No, like Good Belly or
no, we have done Good Belly before, but once we get to this size, we're like, all right, we got to be serious.
We need one pallet of Good Belly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
There's been times where we've run to the local grocery store and cleared them out in the old days on the 15 barrel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is killer, dude.
Yeah.
Super crisp, easy to drink.
Yeah.
Could probably drink 10 of them because it's like 4%.
Yeah.
What is it, 4.2?
Yeah, 4.2.
Yeah, nice.
And well, in terms of other sours, we have one in the tank. Talk Tiki right now uses something called sour Vicier.
Yeah.
So it's a strain, that makes lactic acid, and it's a super clean fermentation that cuts out just that whole kettle sour process.
Right.
So it's a fun thing to try and experiment with. And see.
Free up the brew house.
Yeah.
I heard that has like a day or two lag over like something else.
Yeah.
Outside of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's great.
Bad. Well, cheers, man. Thanks. Poor Party Rob can't join the fun.
Yeah,
Decided to be a firefighter again today. What a goofball. What else do we need to get while we're in here?
I think after this, if we're done with interview-wise, a lot of B-roll.
Okay, cool.
Kind of run around, get those blood shots,
Yeah.
scan across,
okay.
get the candy line.
Yeah.
Get some
Just
photos.
B-roll if you guys are done with interview.
I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks for showing us around.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you
It's
want
almost-
to close it out or anything.
Here, hold mine.
Yeah, I'll close it out. Thanks. Trade you. Well, Jack gave us the full behind-the-scenes tour of their pretty new facility here at New Glory.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
No problem.
I hope you guys got a lot of value out of it. The most put-together brewery I've ever been to. But anyways, cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
This is really good. Sorry to drink your beer.
Oh, fine. Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
I think I know a guy who can get you some more.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.